I will be playing the role of Marianne Wieck, Clara's mother, and we have Sidney Roberts playing our young artist, through whom this show is told through the perspective of. And we have Shoshana playing a role in this, Shoshi?
Friedrich.
What?
I'm playing Friedrich.
Shoshi is playing the role of Friedrich Wieck, the tyrannical father. All right.
You made your decision to no longer be her mother when you made the decision to no longer be my wife. What kind of loving mother abandons her children and husband?
Back then, a divorce was a nearly impossible ask for a woman. Women had little to no rights, and children were considered to be household objects. In addition to the shame and scandal of a divorce in 19th century Germany, a mother is forced to forfeit ownership of her children.
I could never abandon her, Friedrich. The only way I can ever protect Clara is if I can manage to protect myself.
All of Leipzig is shaming me, Marianne. I feel the pity dripping off of my back.
I assure you, Friedrich, Leipzig is not shaming you. You are a respected, talented pianist.
You do not get to tell me who I am. You've made your decision. From this day forward, I will support Clara. I will oversee her piano curricula, and I will decide if and when she is suitable to visit you in Berlin. Auf Wiedersehen, Marianne.
Let me share parting words with my daughter. As you said, I may not see her for a while. Clara, the best day of my life remains the day you came into this world. Did we ever tell you the meaning of your name, my little wonder?
Keep in mind that until this point, Clara had never spoken a word. Some presumed her to be developmentally slow or deaf. When Marianne had to leave her children, she had yet to even hear Clara speak.
Clara means light, brilliance. And when I held you in my arms that day, I could never anticipate how much brilliance you would bring into this world. You are a very special girl, and you are very, very loved. But your light is your music, and you must never let anyone dim your light. Do you understand me, my Clarkin? Please squeeze my hand if you understand me. Listen closely, my sweet Clarkin. You come from your father, yes, but you come from me too. So listen carefully. What if all you wanted and more is ready for you to grab it? What if all the monsters in your head are angels in disguise? What if all you need already lives inside you? Swim through the fog and find there's freedom on the other side. Courage is not the absence of fear, it's feeling the fear, then proceeding. Each piece of music must have its premiere. Never mind, seize the day. Instead, seize your fear. Carpe timor. Carpe timor. Carpe timor means seize your fear. Carpe timor. Carpe timor, carpe timor, seize your fear. Carpe timor, seize your fear. Clara, I need you to repeat this with me. All I want and more is waiting for me to grab it. All stars in my head are angels in disguise. All I need and more is already inside me. I'll swim through the fog and find the freedom on the other side. Bravery's choosing fight over flight. It's crossing a bridge in the dead of the night, knowing something great for you waits on the horizon. Never mind, seize the day. Instead, seize your fear. Carpe timor. Carpe timor. Carpe timor means seize your fear. Carpe timor. Carpe timor. Carpe timor, seize your fear. Carpe timor, seize your fear. Clara, I must go now. I pray one day you'll understand why this is the way it must be. Courage is not the absence of fear. It's feeling the fear, then proceeding. Each piece of music must have its premiere. I love you, my little Clarkin. Seize your fear. Thank you. Moving on, the next song we have is called Papillon. At this point in our story, Clara, played by Madison Raef, is now a young woman. A prodigy, she is now toward Paris and Germany. She is about to go to Vienna, and her father has been extremely pleased with her success. Everything is going according to plan. However, at some point, a young girl must become a young woman. In this next scene, we have, as I said, Madison Raef as Claire. We have Sidney reprising her role as a young artist. Shoshana will play a composer who I'm sure you will recognize, and I will play the role of Friedrich Wieck and stage direction.
Clara was cracking the 19th century glass ceiling with her talent. One night, an ambitious, charming young law student heard Clara play in an aristocrat's home. This young man moved with the hopes of studying music with Leipzig's premier piano teacher.
Today, a young man named Robert Schumann moved into our home to study piano with Father.
Robert Schumann dropped out of law school to study music.
I will earn the right to be called your student.
And so, Robert would join a long list of great men who would drop out of law school and disappoint their mothers.
He is charming, handsome, gifted, and spoiled. I admire his unbridled confidence, but a career in music requires time, and he is already 20 years of age. I look forward to seeing how long this Schumann fellow will last.
But Robert surprised everyone with his dedication, music, and dazzling personality.
During the evening, Robert comes rushing into my brother's room to fetch us, and that is when the fun begins. I did not know I could laugh so hard. Alvin loves charades, and Gustav loves stories. It is through the joy on my brother's faces that I can taste my own childhood. Robert has introduced me to a kindness that I did not know could exist in a man.
Music became the shared secret language between Robert and Clara.
As she plays my music, this great world fades far behind me. With every note, new colors flood my world and ignite me, provide me, riding on the wings of our notes, together hovering like colorful butterflies. My Papillon, my butterfly, butterfly. Leave the real world far behind to create a new moment. Can this sad-eyed magic girl be my life's new proponent? Were we meant? Have I already lived a life with you? Try to tell me I already knew my best life was one spent making music with you. I want to show you something. Would you possibly humor me by playing my latest compositional motif?
I would be honored. Andantino de Clara Wieck?
I've been feeling inspired as of late, and I'm thinking of working it into a sonata. That is, if you find it pleasing to your ear.
I might be in love with it. Keep calm, Clara. Your face gives away your excitement. Alignment. Since my first sight, I've been inviting him to ignite me, delight me. He brings sunlight into my room, and next to my sun, I will hang his moon, and between us, butterflies. Butterflies. As I play his music, his notes cocoon and bound me. Safe and cloaked in his sound, astound me, surround me. Have I already lived a life with you? Try to tell me, though I already knew my best life is one spent making music with you.
Perhaps someday you might be willing to play it in front of somebody, although perhaps not your father just yet.
Yesterday, I saw a scene which I will never forget. Friedrich
is surely a wicked man. Alvin had not played well.
You wretch, is this the pleasure you give your father?
He threw him on the floor, pulled him by the hair.
A single butterfly flies out of Clara's piano.
Trembled and staggered, sat still to rest and gain strength for new feats.
Another butterfly escapes out of Clara's piano.
Could barely stand on his legs anymore and had to throw his prey down.
Hundreds of butterflies are released out of the piano, filling the concert hall.
The boy begged and implored him to give him the violin, saying he wanted to play. I could barely describe it. And to all this, Clara smiled and calmly sat herself down at the piano with the Weber sonata. Robert's last written words about this were, "Am I among humans?" Music was Clara's escape, as it is to many of us.
Thank you. So from this point on, we're going to go out of order of the show. So we spoke earlier about our calling to feature Clara's original music, since everybody already knows the music of her contemporaries. Another reason Shoshana is so brilliant is because she is so motivically minded, and she's able to take a melody, open it, deconstruct it, and then turn it into something new and original and beautiful. So she'll talk a little bit about integrating music and how she's, what her process has been like.
Sure. So would like to speak specifically to what you just heard, which is Papillon. As our young artist said, Papillon, Robert wrote Papillon, and we wanted to honor that, but also honor what we thought perhaps Clara's spin on Papillon could be. So Robert's Papillon is that one, and Clara's is and then I want to also talk about our next song. It's called Music Lives in You, and it's one of our cornerstone songs, and it's one of the musical sort of structural foundations of the show. It helps, when the theme returns, it helps the audience to connect with the arc of the story in a way that a theme from, I don't know, a Beethoven symphony would. So with Music Lives in You, I spent so many hours and days and months just listening to Clara's music, and I was so struck by how timeless some of the melodies were, and I wanted to bring parts of them into the modern era and then combine them with new music. So we do that in this next song. The A section I wrote, and the B section is inspired by one of my favorite songs of Clara's. I'm going to botch the pronunciation, but it's Willst du warum Andre Fragen.
Thanks. And just to set up the story that we're heading into, we're in Act 2 now. Brahms and Clara have been married for a while. During this time, a young man named, Robert Schumann and Clara have been married for a while. During this time, a young man named Johannes Brahms came to study piano with a premier teacher, Robert Schumann. This is probably sounding a little familiar. So Brahms moved in to sort of help with to be mentored, and during this process, he fell in love with Clara too. And there's sort of, there's maybe some sort of a love triangle that might have happened between Brahms, Robert Schumann, and Clara Schumann. Nothing has ever been confirmed, but there's a lot of speculation, so we're looking forward to exploring those dynamics. This song takes place after Robert Schumann he was probably manic bipolar, and he had a suicide attempt. He took off his ring and he jumped in the Rhine. And after that, he was sent away to a mental facility where he would spend the last 2 years of his life, where, by the way, Clara was not allowed to visit him. They thought that she would be too fragile. Women were too fragile, they couldn't handle it. So it wasn't until that it looked like it was going to be Robert's last few days, weeks, that she was finally able to visit him with Brahms accompanying her. So this is where we'll pick up the story. We have Madison Raef reprising her role as Clara, and Sidney Roberts reprising her role as young artist.
On a hot July afternoon, Brahms and Clara returned to the hospital to find that Robert had died in his room, alone.
You may feel small, you may feel weak, But there is magic at your fingertips. Can't you see, for all you lack, the music lives in you. You may feel drained with fragile heart, but gold is radiating through each crack. Can't you see, for all you lack, the music lives in you. And you will live on through the music that came from you. So you think your story's ending, you'll live on, won't be forgotten. Not just memories of your loved ones, no, the whole world will know your name. I will show the world your value. I will share your precious music. Cross the seas and highest mountains, they will always know you.
Clara wrote in her diary that evening.
I saw him today for the last time. His head was beautiful in death. I stood at the body of my dearly loved husband and was calm. It was as if his magnificent spirit hovered above me. Oh, if he had only taken me with him. I saw my love for the last time, and he has taken my love with him. You may feel small, but you are brave as you lay flowers at his grave. Now I see you were half of me. My music lived in you.
Thank you. So this last and final song is actually our Act 1 closer, but we wanted to end with this song with you all wonderful humans because it's a song about owning your independence and recognizing your own strength. It's also the first song we wrote together, and it was a really wonderful moment because it just felt really easy, and we knew it worked, and things just fell into place. So before we go into the song, I just want to take a second and introduce our phenomenal musicians from the Dallas Symphony Orchestra. We have on harp, Emily Levine. We have Don Wang on harp. On viola, excuse me, Don Wang on viola. Kara Kirkendall-Welch on flute. And Kari Kettering on cello. Thank you all so much. This is also exciting because we just decided what our title of the show is going to be, and we're announcing it for the first time with you all. So thank you so much for joining us for these selections from Clara, a feminine theatrical symphony. Clara, a feminine theatrical symphony. And an extra special thanks to the Dallas Symphony for having us. Thank you so much to Kim for having us, and we hope to have some exciting programming for you to look forward to next year. And you can look for this piece hopefully soon in 3D on stage next season. All right, now we have, I'm sorry, I lost my notes. Traveling solo, Madison Raef reprising her role as Clara, Shoshana as Friedrich Wieck, Sidney as young artist, and I will play the role of Justine.
Nobody could predict the rage that Friedrich Wieck would unleash once he discovered of Clara's secret romance with Robert. After all, for 18 years, Clara's father had trained her, managed her daily schedule and concert tours, collected her fees, and...
Everything I've done has been for you, and this is how you show gratitude towards your father?
Angered, and terrified of losing his meal and concert ticket, Clara's father gave her the ultimate challenge when he said,
"Since you're so confident you no longer need me, you can go on your next tour by yourself."
And so, Clara departed on her first trip by herself. A woman wasn't permitted to travel alone, but Clara had no options. It was now up to Clara to manage her concerts, travel, and taller. And you know what? Clara slayed.
I did what?
What I mean is, Clara's first solo tour in Paris was a major success. She returned home on a cold autumn day, eager to tell her father about her experiences and earn his praises. Her favorite servant, Justine, opened the door.
Mademoiselle Wieck!
Justine? Justine, what is it? Is it Gustave? Is it father? Is he in good health? Justine, if I can speak after 5 years of silence, then perhaps you can indulge me after 5 minutes of departure.
I told him you arrived. He said, "Who is this Mademoiselle Wieck? I have no daughter."
Justine, you must be in jest. Let me inside. It's getting dark and I've been traveling for weeks.
He told me to take your bags and send you away. Clara, it makes me sick to say this.
Justine, I never thought I would need to use this tone with you, but my bones are freezing in this cold and night is setting, and so I demand you let me inside my home.
He said this home is no longer yours.
Let me speak with him. You know, nobody can get through to him like I...
Clara, please believe me, if I could, I would.
But Clara knew that her father was probably listening on the other side of that door. And once that door closed, Justine would be the one to bear the brunt of his anger.
I'm afraid you have no business here, mademoiselle. Auf Wiedersehen.
Justine, please, give me my coat and my music. Give me my taller.
I'm so sorry, mademoiselle.
You are now traveling solo over seeds God has sown, whispers of ghosts and memories, and the trace the leaves have blown. You are now traveling solo. Time to test what you know. You're worth whatever you can carry, and in a beat, you are your home. But am I as powerless as these leaves at mercy to the winds? I'm following fading footprints, and I'm carried by the faith that if there is a plan for this leaf, then there is a plan for me too. You are traveling solo, only you and open roads. You have plenty time to ponder if you're lonely or alone. I am traveling solo, and I know I'm not alone, for my hands are my companions, and the music is my home.
Thank you all very much. Thank you for being here. Thank you, musicians. Thank you, Madison. Thank you, Sidney. Thank you, Shoshana. Thank you, Kim. Thank you, stage management. You guys can take a bow too. That's it.